Hi, it's Barbara Greenlee with Green Moon Stamp Studio, and today we're going to make this clear front card, and I have a little sample too that I made for my stamp clubs this month. So this is using the Above It All bundle, so let's get started. Okay, this video is to show you how to do this cool clear front card. It's not a clear card as in the whole card is clear, just the front flap is clear. So we're going to adhere this piece, which will be a quarter sheet of acetate or window sheet, to the front of our card, and I'll give you the measurements for that. In my stamp clubs, this is what I do each month in my stamp clubs, is we do a technique card, and this is the little technique sample that goes in our book. I do like a little instruction sheet with the card, and then we put it in our little book every month. So this is some of the more recent ones that we've put in the book. So anyway, let's get started on this. Move this out of the way. I've got supplies already kind of cut and ready here. So your card base is going to be, you'll have your normal half sheet card base, but then you're going to cut 3 inches off of that so that you have 5.5 by 5.5. It would be 5.5 by 8.5, but you're going to cut 3 inches off of there. The score line is still in the same place, which would be 4.25. So this is going to be your card base. And then you're going to have a quarter sheet of window sheet, which is this plastic acetate. And then you're going to adhere that to your card. What I did was I just put a couple of lines of tape runner right here on the inside of this top flap. Then if you just put this down on your card and line it up, and then fold that over, and there's your basic card. Now we want something to keep it up. You know, it's not going to stand up very well with nothing on the front. So that's the point of adding everything else. We've got this bottom strip, and by the way, we're using the Above It All dies and the Above It All stamp set. So the die for the bottom is this snow drift, snow mountain, whatever you want to call this. So what I did was I took this, and this is, I'll write the name of this on a title below. I forget the name of this paper. It's in the mini catalog, but you'll want to cut this at 5.5, which is the length of your card, and then we're going to use this die to cut it down. So this can cut out the whole thing, and to make my little sample, where's my little sample? I did a little tree like that. You can get the tree out of the leftover here if you're doing the same thing and want to make a little sample in a little book or something. A copy of the little sample will be on my blog, because I always post these technique cards from clubs. So anyway, so let's die cut this out. Throw my samples or my supplies over to the side, and we've got the machine. So like I said, you're just going to, we want that big drift, most of that big drift, and then it doesn't matter what gets cut off on that side. All right, So let's run that through. All right, so that's a scrap. You can use that for something else later. And then this is the piece for our snowdrift. Now we're going to adhere this to our card front that we made along the bottom. And I just used tape runner again on this. I was kind of careful to make the tape runner not too crazy, you know, like nice straight lines, because you are going to see it when you open the card front. So I just did kind of a triangle of tape and then one or two across the bottom and these two lines here. Now if you wanted to make it a little bit cleaner, you could cut an opposite of this and, you know, do it on the inside as well. You do like a mirror image one. It might be hard to line that up exactly how you had it, you know, on the front, but you could do that. And same with the other elements. So you could hide them if you need to, and put another strip here. I chose not to. I don't think it looks that bad to just have the tape from that side. All right, so we're going to put this down here along the bottom. Okay, and then another strip of this paper, 1 inch up here, and actually this is not the right measurement. It should be 5 1/4. It looks like I get so used to doing 5 1/4 that I probably did 5 1/4 on that by 1, but actually on this card I want it to go all the way across, so that would be 5 1/2 by 1 to go the whole length. Now the other thing is that I stamped that track for the gondola on there, and I did that in Pebbled Path. You could just use Memento Black, but I chose to do Pebbled Path because that's what color I'm using for the little track thing that holds the gondola. So on this you want to just barely touch it because you don't want to get all that ink on the rest of this clear block. And then you're going to go from here about, you know, further than halfway at an angle. So about right like this. And there'll be places where it's not as visible because it's on this shiny part here. And probably that's not dry yet. So you would let that dry for a second. Let's see, while that is drying, let's do our greeting, our happy holidays. That's going to be in Versamark. So we're going to do that on a little scrap of Pretty Peacock, and we're going to heat emboss that in silver. Grab my tweezers and my heat tool. dry that a little bit too. Okay. Probably the best thing to do here is not pick a piece that is quite so shiny, which is what I tried to do on the other ones. So let's go ahead and stick this down. Part of that track on the shiny part might rub off and not be there anymore. That's okay. So let's see, we're going to put this right at the edge. There we go. And go ahead and rub this off with my fingers, whatever's left on there. It'll stay in the parts that got stamped where there's no shiny. That'll be enough. Okay, now we are going to put, I already did the gondola, so I also embossed this in silver and die cut it out with the dies. It cuts the windows out for you, which is nice. And it has this other die too if you wanted to overlay it with another little like cage portion on the bottom. I did not do that piece. I think it looks fine just like that. We're going to, the rollers are the part that goes on the track, and so the gondola adheres to this part on the bottom. We're just going to use a little line of glue, liquid glue, on here. And this is that luster, I think it's called luster specialty paper. I'll put the title on the video, but it's the pebbled path color on that. I left a little bit of that showing. Just tape that on. Then we're going to hang this on the track. So again, I'm going to put a little bit of glue there, and then I'm just going to put tape on the bottom of the gondola. My fingers are getting sticky. There we go. We'll put a little bit of glue right here. And that should be enough to hold it in place. We want it about right there. So just hold it for a second or two so that that liquid glue can soak into your paper and adhere both sides. All right, then on the other side, I've got a tree that I stamped in Pretty Peacock and then die cut with the dies, and that's going to help strengthen up this side. And on this one, I just chose to do glue dots. So put a glue dot at the top of the tree and at the bottom of the tree on the trunk. And that way you can stick it on the bottom and the top. Let's see, about right there, and then make sure your tree is standing straight. That helps bridge the gap and strengthens the whole front of the card. So now we just have the little happy holidays, and then we also have the inside, and I'll show you what I did on that. So the happy holidays, I just hand trimmed So you want to cut carefully between the two words so you don't cut off any of your embossing. Then trim the top. And then just use some mini dimensionals, black or white, doesn't matter. It is a darker cardstock, so you could use black ones, but you're also putting it on a white snow, so either way. But your minis are probably going to be best when you're trimming these words down. Put your happy on first. And then your holidays underneath. And that's almost done, but you know, we can see through to the inside, so we need the inside. All right, so for the inside, I tried several different insides, and the pool party is what wound up looking best. So on the pool party, I added some trees. So we have the big tree, and where is the smaller tree? Oh, it's not a smaller tree, it's the same tree. I was thinking there was two sizes of trees, but there's just one. So let me open this up so you can see that. So I used the Pretty Peacock, and this is just Pretty Peacock. So I stamped off to get the lighter colors. So let's see, let's stamp our greeting first. This is also out of the same stamp set. I like it when the stamp sets have everything you need. Don't need to even go to a second stamp set. So you want to put this near the top, because then it will be hidden by your flap on the top. And then could put a full strength tree over here. Whoops, got a hair. Put one over here. And then we'll put a smaller one that looks more like it's in the background. So we want to stamp off so that it is lighter in color. Like that. And then we'll put a full strength one over here. About right there. And then a taller one that's stamped off, and another smaller one that's stamped off. There we go. So that'll be our inside that you can see through the front. Put some tape runner. So leave me a comment and let me know if you liked this design, and if you have this above it all bundle. I wanted it as soon as I saw it because it's so different. You know, you've got a million sets with trees and snowflakes and everything. It's nice to have something completely different. Okay, so that's the big card. So see, our greeting is hidden under the flap, and you can see these trees all in the background so that it gives it kind of a shadow box look. Then if you're doing the little sample, put it here so you can see it. The little sample I made with the leftover piece that I cut off of the big base. So that was 3 inches wide, and then I cut it by 3 1/4 on the other side, and then I scored it at 2 1/2. So this is the little one, and same thing, I have a little window sheet that's 2 1/2 by 3. This time I only need 1 tape swipe, and then line that up. It's a little hard to see because it's see-through. There we go. That's lined up. And then from that same paper pack, I cut out some of the snowflake looking paper. And this time, for this strip, I just did the same Lost Lagoon. So the base on this is Lost Lagoon. The inside is Pool Party. Let's see. So this is just going to go across the bottom. And you could build your big card this way too. It could just have a flap top and bottom. Got a little tape on my mat. So the little flap, I just made the bottom flap the same size as the top flap. So it's 3/4 of an inch by 3. Then I'm going to put these little strips, which are 3 by 5/8 of an inch. I know that's a funny measurement, but that seemed to be what looked the best on here. It looks like I cut it a little bit long. I'd rather cut them a little long and then trim it than cut them too short, and then it looks funny. Be careful of which way you want your snowflakes. You know what's going to be showing. I think I'll put the bigger snowflake over here. Doesn't really matter. You're not going to see all of any of it because of the words and everything. So same thing here. I'll just line this up, and it's the same size, that 5/8 by 3 inches. Okay, then this is the tree that I got out of the leftover from that snow little mountain thing. I'm going to do the same thing I did on the other tree. I'm going to do a glue dot at the top of the tree and a glue dot at the bottom of the tree. This time it's not going to be on the trunk of the tree because we're going to cut off the trunk of the tree because it doesn't quite fit on the card. So we just want the top of the tree and then line it up and then trim off the trunk. Okay, so that we just have part of the trunk. And then on the inside, there is a little bitty tree in the stamp set. I stamped that in the Pretty Peacock so that you could see it through the window. So you might stage it in here. Your little pool party inside would be 2 1/4 by 2 3/4, and it's gonna be about right there. I just want it to be seen through the front. So check to make sure that that's where you want it. Yep, that looks good. Because you could always do the other side if you missed. So put this on the inside. And then I did the same thing on this. I cut out all the words. So you want to carefully cut your words apart. Okay, and then let's see. I like to make them go different directions. So that one went that way, so I'll go this way on this one. And this way. Okay. All right, so then you can do them flat. I think on this one I just did them flat with glue dots because it was going in my little technique book. So I don't want it to be sticking up too much because then it would make my book fat. You know, like our scrapbooks where you've got too much stuff sticking up, you know, which is good. But that really does go up high. I think I'm going to trim it a little bit more. Okay, and then wishes, another glue dot. Whoops. There we go. Warm winter wishes. So there it is. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and give me a comment. Let me know if you like this card and share with your friends. Thanks.